How about it, y'all? This is Daniel Nicholson with Nicholson Farms, and welcome back to another video. We really appreciate all the comments and thoughts and prayers for us as we've been dealing with the situation with the goats aborting. It means a lot to us to have the support of everyone. But I just walked up here. I've been checking the goats about 3 to 4 times a day. Just kind of looking over the pasture, looking at everybody's rear end, make sure we don't see any blood or discharge. And everybody looks good as of right now. So we're finally going to have a video that the abortion's not the main topic. We're going to get some projects done, and in particular we're going to go up to our barn up front, and I want to get that thing ready for kidding. I've got a long task ahead of me, and just 5 days before these girls are supposed to be due. So we're going to get up there and we're going to get busy. I got something on the trailer I'll show you that's going to probably be in our next video when we finally get that done. Let's walk down here real quick and I'll show you what's on the trailer. So I've got some really close friends that tore down an old house probably about 2 years ago, and they told me to come get this tin. We're going to be using this tin to close the side walls of our barn up front, kind of block the wind and the rain and all the elements from the goats, especially the baby goats. So we're going to get up there. I'm going to show you the plan. I've kind of switched it up since the last time I talked to you about it, but we're going to get up there, and we got several other things that we need to get done up there. So we got that. I've got a bunch of tools loaded up in the truck, and we're going to get up there and get busy. Up here at our front barn that some of y'all might remember, we've been doing several things to it over the past year, but just recently we redid the tin on the top, added this little awning on, put the sides on, just kind of sealing it up, protecting it from the weather. There's a big cornfield right here and a big cow pasture over here with more fields behind it. So there's a lot of wind that comes from this direction, even though the north is that way. So we kind of want to close up the back. And I talked to you before about possibly we're going to put boards up, or we were going to put tin up all the way. I think I decided I'm just going to go, tin about 4.5 to 5 foot all the way around down this side and across the back of the barn. But before that, I got several different things I need to do. I've got that tin on the trailer for that, and I also have a pile of boards that's been sitting here for a year, so there might be some that's rotten, but those are reclaimed from something else, so they didn't really go to waste. But I've got to move this fence. I've got to take some boards off of here that's kind of rotten. I think my idea is that I'm gonna cut this fence, I'm gonna wrap it around this cedar tree, and then I've got to refasten my hot wire that's at the bottom to this tree. That way I can make one straight run across the back, and then somehow or another we'll tie back into the barn, whether it be a stock 8 panel that's cut or something to close this gap back up. But also we've got several other things to do, get this thing ready for kidding. I need to do some cleanup. We've got several panels sitting around from whenever we loaded the pigs. Just kind of making a makeshift chute. And also, whenever I had the pigs over here on this lean-to, one of the horses decided to rip this panel off that post to try to get to the pig feed. So we need to get that fixed. Got to get this panel back to that post, and then we're probably gonna work on this first, and then we're gonna work on our wire and our hot wire, and then we're gonna start running boards all the way across the back and down that side and see if we can get this thing sealed up. It's gonna allow us to block a lot of wind, a lot of weather blowing into this barn, so the goats can get out of it whenever they have young babies. Keep them warm. We are still getting down in the 30s and the 40s at night, so I just want to add a little bit more, and it's it's always a good thing. I particularly want to get to where I'm running goats on real thick areas that they've got a lot of cedar trees and brush to get out of the weather, but being that we don't have that much on this property, it's just a couple shade trees here and there. These goats need to have somewhere to get out the weather. But I'm gonna flip the camera around real quick. I'll show you the tools that we're gonna be using, and then I've got a long afternoon ahead of me, a long couple afternoons ahead of me, so we're gonna get busy. So we got several things in the back of the truck. First and foremost, the radio, because I cannot work in silence. I just tend to like to listen to music while I work. We've got a hammer, a crowbar to get them boards off. I've got a bucket full of staples for whenever we move the fence, a level for whenever we start hanging the boards, some wire cutters and some crimpers and some crimps and some wire tighteners. The tightening tool, shovel. We got to move some dirt at the back of that barn. And also I've got my battery powered skill saw, battery powered impact, and a drill. We'll use that drill whenever we put those insulators back into that cedar tree. And we got a 5-gallon bucket full of DeWalt batteries, because I hate when a battery dies. The only thing I didn't get up here is a speed square, which works out because I forgot to cut off the hot wire. So I gotta run back down to the house, cut off the hot wire, grab a speed square, and then we're gonna see how much we can get done this afternoon. Okay, so we got our fence that was across here to this pole off. I never really liked it coming across there anyways, but we got it wrapped around this cedar tree. This cedar tree is about dead. It only has one green branch left in it, so I'm probably gonna cut this thing off at the top. This cedar will last forever, but we got our insulators on both sides with our hot wire hook backed up, our wire wrapped around this tree and twisted. It's still pretty tight. It didn't take much tension off of it. This was just a little short strand, so it just kind of divides the two separate pastures here. Going forward, eventually, I don't know what I'm going to do exactly from this tree to the edge of the barn. I'm going to put some kind of gate or something. We'll just see how it works out, but there's a lot of slope right here. I know you can't tell on camera, but I'm standing probably a foot above what the top of that bottom board is. So there's some slope there. So we got to figure out what we're going to do. But I'm about to start tearing out this whole back wall of this stall. It used to be a horse stall. I was going to leave that bottom board on, but I want to lower it down. And basically, what I'm trying to achieve is I'm gonna set my bottom boards going around first. We're gonna start off at this point right here. This is about probably 6 inches higher than the base of that post. So there's gonna be a little bit of a raise, a little bit of a gap in the tin there. But going across the back of this barn is continually going up, and I'm gonna have to dig out. I want that completely level, so all of our tin is the same level, because I'm going to leave a gap. So I want to make sure my bottom board's level. The bottom of that tin is going to go to the bottom of it and flush, and it should do several things for us. It's going to make sure our walls are level, make it look decent, but also being that this is a slope right here, one of the biggest problems with this barn, I don't know if you can tell, but looking in, it's not really wet right now, it's just darker. It's kind of moist, but you see where the green comes. Sorry, there's a vehicle behind me. I'm up by the highway, but you can kind of see how this green comes through. That's from all the runoff off of this lean-to right here, hitting right here, and it's just going down. So burying our tin beneath the ground surface is going to help retain that water this way. And hopefully, you know, over time, some of the sediment off the top of this hill can kind of come in, and it'll kind of act as like a kind of a wall, build it up eventually, and hopefully control some of the moisture that's coming in through the bottom of the shed. So that's what I'm about to start working on. We're gonna get this whole back wall pulled out. I gotta pull that post out. I was gonna try to do that anyways. So that's the next step, and we're gonna get at it. maybe you can tell the elevation now. That's about a foot right there. So I got some digging to do. Rivers is chasing mice all around. There's about 3 little mice that ran out the bottom over here whenever I pulled up that bottom board. But over here is where we're gonna start. This is the next step. We're gonna go ahead and set our board right there, flush with the bottom of the ground. And then we're gonna go across and level it up. Like I said, it's gonna be a little bit of a gap there. That's fine. We might bring in some dirt right here anyways. This is kind of a low spot where I had pigs here before. The water is right there, so they kind of dug it out. But we're gonna set that. And then from this corner right here, we're gonna level all the way across. That's probably gonna be all I get done this afternoon. If that, that's gonna be a ton of digging. So we'll just kind of have to see how it goes. But let me get this board set. And then I guess I'll break out the shovel and start to digging. I hate digging, but let's get it done. Okay, so fast forward about 24 hours. It's the next afternoon. I broke my shovel yesterday afternoon while I was digging our trench for the board on this side. So I didn't get finished with that, but I got another shovel. I got a pickaxe. We're gonna try to knock this out today. I didn't film this yesterday just because I was trying to make it up as I was going. I didn't really know. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I didn't film it, and it was starting to get kind of late. So I went ahead and hung our boards on the side, on this side, and the back of this one lean-to. So basically our tin's gonna come all the way up, flush with the top of this board, and then flush with the bottom board. So I've got this little lean-to done. The plan this afternoon is to get the rest of this back of the barn done. I think Maddie might come and help me in a little while. I'd really like to get some tin hung, at least on this lean-to and this one. As you can see, all the goats are up here now. I moved them earlier. This is the pasture they're gonna kid in. I wanna go ahead and get them situated in there. So the goats are up here. We're supposed to have about 1 inch of rain tomorrow. So I'd really like to get as much done this afternoon as I can before the rain comes. Get these girls situated and have it ready for kidding season just around the corner. So I'm gonna set the camera up. It's pretty windy this afternoon and I'm gonna be super busy. So it's gonna be several time lapses with a little bit of music. I hope you enjoy. got all our boards up. We got that trench dug at the bottom for our bottom board, so our tin's gonna kind of be sitting down in the ground a little bit. I use treated lumber at the bottom, some old treated lumber. I don't know how long it'll last, but I'm sure it'll last as long as we need it to, at least. But I don't think I'm gonna get the tin cut this afternoon. It's still pretty windy and it's getting later in the afternoon. I got all my other chores to do still. Got to go home, cook supper at some point. But our next video, we're gonna be putting this tin up. We're supposed to get some rain tomorrow. The mamas will be all right. I definitely want to get this stuff up before the babies come. We got about 5 days until we're expecting babies. So I've got, tomorrow afternoon, all day Friday, and Saturday morning to get this stuff up before the babies get here. So we'll be working on that in the next video. I really appreciate y'all hanging out with us. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we'll see y'all on the next one.